Okay, guys. So, my name is Elizabeth Goodrice, or you may also know me as Elizabeth Geib. That's my married name, and I guess I use a mix of both in my business. I usually use my maiden name, but on Facebook it's my married name because my husband's family wouldn't be too happy otherwise. So, it's the same person. And you might hear people call me Beth occasionally. That's what my family calls me. So if you want to call me that, that's cool too. But I usually go by Elizabeth. So anyway, short little outline here. If you're on your computer and you're seeing the slides, this is going to take about 30 minutes, I expect. If you have questions along the way, just type them in the chat window, and then I will answer them either at the end or as they come in, depending on what makes the most sense. And so first I'm going to go through some background about me and just, as that relates to coaching and how it's influenced my coaching business. I'm going to talk about the themes and focuses of my business and how Beachbody ties in. And then some nuts and bolts of coaching and what I call the levels of coaching. And I'll explain what I mean by that. So that's a little roadmap for you. Like I said, I blocked out an hour for questions, but it really should only take about 30 minutes. Do feel free to just type any questions along the way. So first of all, thank you so much for taking your time to get on. And like I said, I'm going to start out with my story. Background about me. I've been a coach for a year and a half now, and I'll start with how I got into it. And then once I've explained that, I'll back up a little further with some deeper history from my life. So I'm originally from Minnesota, and I moved to Madison, Wisconsin 3 years ago now. I was living in Boston. I met my husband at a wedding, and the wedding was in California. So we dated long distance, and I ended up moving to Madison, Wisconsin to join him. And through the course of that, just was doing things to get out and meet new people, and I joined a dance studio, and I went to a class called Turbo Kick. And the instructor is the person who ended up being my mentoring coach for Beachbody. Her name is Bridget. But I went to this Turbo Kick class, and it was kind of life-changing. I'll explain. I have a long history of exercise being, first it was punishment for me. I used to run, and it was trying to burn off the calories that I had ingested. It was like punishment for eating too much. That was how I thought about exercise. And that's kind of a miserable way to live. So finally, I just had enough, and I wanted to be done with running, and I just quit. And around the same time, I discovered yoga, and that was my first introduction to the idea that movement was supposed to feel good in your body and be enjoyable. So I did only yoga for exercise for like 5 years, I think. But so then when I went to this Turbo Kick class, that was really the first time I was getting back into group exercise and cardio and finding it really fun and realizing that I liked it, pop music, choreography. It was fun now that that punishment element was taken away. So I got really into it, and then I knew about this thing that Bridget was doing as a fitness coach. And I ended up buying Turbo Fire, the home version of Turbo Kick, through her, and trying Shakeology and signing up as a coach really just for the discount. And as I learned more and more about coaching, which I'll share with you, I got really excited about the business. It's obviously a really big deal in my life now, so I'll explain more about how that happened. But just the basics, my husband is Sean. We don't have kids or pets right now. And we've been married for 2 years now. And people always wonder how old I am. I just turned 36. All right, so in terms of coaching, so I got into it through Turbo Kick, and so it took me about 6 months to really go anywhere with it and start actually running groups and having people interested in working with me. And, my coaches on my team that I train, I explain all of that and kind of what I would do differently if I could go back. But it was kind of a slow start for me. And then, so I joined in December of 2013. And then in August of 2014, I went in for surgery, and it was for endometriosis. It was supposed to be a laparoscopic procedure, not even overnight in the hospital. I ended up waking up with my abdomen cut wide open because I started bleeding during the procedure, and they had to open me up wider to find the source. And they still don't completely understand what happened. They think it was an allergic reaction. I lost a lot of blood, and because of that, I lost kidney function temporarily and had obviously this huge wound that actually ended up taking 5 months to heal. But it was really, really serious, and I was really sick. I had to relearn how to stand and how to walk on my own. And I was in the hospital for 3 weeks, and I was out of work for 3 months. I didn't say, by the way, that I do have a day job in marketing for the state of Wisconsin. So this huge life-changing health event happened, and I had to take time off completely from coaching. You know, there are coaches who have gone through cancer and chemo, or even there's another coach who had the same surgery as I did, but she didn't have the complications, but her coaching business took off when she was recovering because she was able to like be in bed and just be on social media constantly and messaging people and developing her business during that time in her life. So that was not how it went for me. I just had to totally step away, and I really didn't use Facebook very much. Like, I was keeping in touch with friends and family, but in terms of the business part of it, it almost was just painful for me to see everyone moving along with this thing that I really wanted to be doing. And I just like didn't even have the energy. It's just amazing. Like, until you've been that sick, I don't think you understand, but I did not have the energy to like finish an email. I would fall asleep in the middle of writing a 1-sentence email. You know, you're on really strong painkillers. And so I had to take 3 months off from my coaching business. And I don't regret that at all. I needed to do it for my health. But in terms of what is happening in my business, I almost had to start from square one. You know, there were a lot of people who, when I got back into it at the end of that 3 months, when I put it out there, I first ran a free program to kind of, you know, like hang up my sign, hey, I'm doing this again. And then I started recruiting for some paid programs. It's telling me my network connection is bad. If you can't hear me, tell me, and I can switch to using my phone microphone. Otherwise, I'm going to keep going. All right, so that really sidetracked my business, being so sick. And that's why, you know, I've been in it 1.5 years, and I'm not at diamond status yet. Not that that means anything to those of you calling in, but it's, you know, it's a milestone that really means that you are starting to lead a team of coaches. And, you know, part of my story is this just big personal challenge that I had. So that's just in terms of explaining the trajectory of the growth of my business to you guys. But let's see. So where do I want to go next? But it's helped my business in the sense that, you know, I've always been a pretty strong and fit person, and I always had empathy for people who were going through serious health challenges or who had injuries, but it was kind of harder for me to figure out how to relate to them. And just after everything that I went through, that definitely is not an issue anymore. So it's not that I couldn't work with those people before, but I think they're more drawn to me now because, you know, if I'm chatting with a potential customer and they tell me, hey, I just got out of the hospital, I mean, that's like, before I would have felt kind of uncomfortable and I would not have known what to ask them. And now I can totally relate. So it just, you know, not to be opportunistic, like this opened up a new audience to me, but the whole model of Beachbody coaching is that you connect with people who have had similar experiences to you, and that's what you put out on social media, and that's the people who are interested in working with you. So that experience definitely changed my coaching business. In terms of what else I emphasize in my business, and you know, now I'm going on to themes and focuses of my business, but it really ties into my history for the reason that I just mentioned. So I focus a lot on eating disorder recovery. And I have to be really careful because I am not a psychologist or a therapist, and I really strongly believe that people should access whatever help they need. You know, there's no shame in working with a therapist, or, I myself went to Overeaters Anonymous, and that program was tremendously helpful for me. So I'll be the first one to encourage people, if they obviously need more help than what I can offer, that they should get that extra help. I don't see it as like losing a sale or anything like that. My first concern is always people's health and, self-care. But because of my own history as a compulsive overeater, that's something that I really understand. And, for a lot of years, I felt like I was at war with food. It really was hell. I mean, it was miserable. I would wake up and I just would dread what the day was going to bring, because I knew that I wanted to eat some small amount and I would end up eating some much larger amount. And I felt like my life was just out of control. Like dreading meals, feeling ashamed of myself all the time. It really was hell. And part of it is emotional and about behavior change, and part of it is just physiological, that I was depriving myself and I wasn't eating enough. So of course I was starving and I was going to binge. So just, there are a lot of people who maybe they have gone through treatment like me and they're, doing much better now, but there's still that sense of community that can help them manage symptoms. It's been really helpful for me, and I share what has worked for me in my coaching. So that's eating disorders, also anxiety and depression. And, it's obviously really linked, but I have suffered a lot from anxiety and depression in my life. And again, I've been to therapy, I've taken medication for it. I'm not doing any of that right now because I just found that through what I'm doing with nutrition and exercise, I don't need those other things anymore. But I would not hesitate to go back to therapy, and I did after I was so sick, just to cope with all of that. But, I'm not saying that those things are never needed, not at all. I don't think coaching is a substitute when people need additional help. But through coaching, I can help people make those lifestyle changes that, depending on the severity of their symptoms, that might be all they need. Nutrition can make such a difference to our emotions and just other healthy habits. Meditation, yoga, like I mentioned, has been huge for me, and I'm trained as a yoga instructor. So that's what I bring into my challenge groups too. And I have one next month where I'm doing a yoga pose a day, short video that I'm going to make just for that group. So this is starting to move on to point number 3 on the outline, how Beachbody ties in. So, you might be on my page and Living Vibrantly and not see me mention Beachbody very much at all. And a lot of people wonder, like, how are you kind of, like, I'm the brand, but I get my commissions from Beachbody. And I think that's one of the coolest things about our model. You don't have to be out there just like posting about Shakeology every day. And very few of my posts use the word Beachbody. So I don't see it as sales at all. These products are amazing and life-changing, and I think we have really a wide variety of products, and there really is something for everyone. Like what I use in my groups is a very small slice. What I use in my groups is a very small slice of what Beachbody offers. So it's not like, here's the product catalog, go promote it. No, we design our own programs, and based on who we are talking with, we can recommend what we think would be best for them to help them. And part of it is the product and part of it is the service that we offer. So every coach has such a different niche and such a different target audience. There are some coaches who are Christian, and that's really important to them, and they post about it a lot. Some coaches post a lot about fashion. There's one that I really love to follow. Her page is Fit and Fabulous Over 50, or no, Fabulously Fit Over 50. It is Dawn Wilson. But, it's all about healthy aging. And so whatever your life experiences are, that's going to be what you offer to your clients, just as much as the Beachbody products. So like I said, eating disorder recovery, anxiety, depression, and, the flip side of it, the positive side, I focus on a lot as well. Eating for health, exercise for health. I post a lot of food photos and recipes, and that's because I really believe, obviously, in the power of nutrition, but I really see eating as kind of a spiritual experience. Food is the substance that gives us, or that sustains life for us. And so mealtime should not be a time that we dread or even just throw something together quickly. It really should be a celebration. And that's kind of the attitude that I try and put across on my page and bring into my groups. So those are the major focuses of my business. And another group that I try to connect with is freelance writers, because my background is in journalism and I was a freelancer for a while, and I understand that lifestyle.
Welcome to any meeting. Your line is now unmuted.
I understand the lifestyle of a freelance writer and working from home and how it can be sedentary and isolating and all of that. So, through my training for coaches who join my team, you would learn about how to reach your target audience. But, all of these...
Your line is now unmuted.
All of these groups that I have been mentioning are groups that I target through Facebook ads and things like that to try and reach. All right, just going to look through my notes real quickly to make sure there's nothing I forgot before I move on. Okay, so like I said, all Beachbody coaches are using the same products, but when we run a coaching program, it has our own unique spin. And people connect with us because of our own unique stories. Be it moms of twins or adoptive parents or dog owners or marathon runners, whatever your niche might be, people will connect with you because of that. So I get asked a lot also, how does it work with training? So like I said, I have training as a yoga instructor and group fitness instructor before that. But I don't have like a nutrition certification or degree. Some coaches do. Basically, whatever education and experience you bring to the table, that's what you offer as a service provider to your clients. And then Beachbody has training to fill in the gaps. And it's all offered completely free to coaches. So I have 3 training webinars every single week. And then, I watch a lot of videos on YouTube, 2 from coaches from other teams. And there are special events, web-based events that the company offers, and then there's a whole archive of training on the website. But basically, every subject that you would need to know for this business, there's a training available. Branding, social media, fitness, nutrition, how to identify your target market, how to reach them, program design, leadership, motivating people. All of those pieces are there, and it's actually all optional. This business is really designed in a way that lets you, run or walk, depending on what speed you want to move at. So if you don't have any time right now and you just want to get the discount, that's totally cool. And then if you have 1 hour a week to watch a training and kind of dip your toe in, that's great too. If you want to watch all the trainings in 1 week, which there's so many that you couldn't even do, but if you want to totally immerse yourself, it's all there. But none of it is required. A lot of people do this business because they want to be their own boss. Maybe they're leaving their job, or they just want to be an independent contractor, which we all are. But there's nobody telling you what speed to move at. You might be part of a team or a training group that has suggestions, but it's always up to you to decide how much you're going to put in, and the rewards are proportionate to what you put in, which I think is really cool. It's not for people who want a job and just collect a paycheck and put in minimum effort. Hardworking, determined, those are qualities that make people good coaches. But I just love that being a self-starter is so valued and so rewarded in this business. So how does it actually work? So I said you get a discount. It's 25% on everything. There is a $15.95 monthly fee to be a coach, and you get 25% commission from day one. And then depending on there are some exceptions where it's even higher than that. Like our online streaming service, the commission is higher. But mostly it's 25% across the board.
Welcome to any meeting. Welcome to any meeting. The meeting is in listen-only mode. Welcome to any meeting. Your line is now unmuted.
Okay, I am back. I'm so sorry about that. It looks like we're having technical difficulties, but here I am. I'm going to keep going. So, like I said, 25% discount, 25% commission, $15.95 monthly fee. And what that fee covers is Beachbody handles, obviously, inventory. People order straight from Beachbody. So, like, for right now, the 21-day fix challenge pack is $140, and people get a month of Shakeology, the nutrition guide, container set. But the price of that product also includes my coaching services and the online group that I offer to help them understand the nutrition guide. Accountability is a big, big part of coaching programs, having that daily check-in, a place to ask questions, celebrate successes. So that's what I do as a coach, and that's what my commission represents. So the price is $140, and for that I get $40 for every pack that I sell. So inventory, Beachbody handles that. People order directly from Beachbody. There's no need to buy products and have them in my house and send them out, which is different from some other network marketing companies. Beachbody takes care of all of that. They handle fulfillment, shipping, customer service. We have a money back guarantee on all of our products, which really puts people at ease, that they can order, and if they're not satisfied, just get their money back. And people don't do it very often, but it really is a great way to tell people who are on the fence, hey, there's really nothing to lose here. And then Beachbody does a lot of advertising and marketing. They have, infomercials every night of the week and web ads, and just like T25 is a household name. The 21-day fix is a household name. And all of that helps us because when you start out as a coach, people are like, wow, I didn't know that you did this. But you don't have to explain to a lot of people. They already know what the program is. And it also, I think, gives it a little bit of credibility. As the owner of a business, when you're first starting out, people are kind of hesitant if they've got to like send you money on PayPal. And here we have a professional website with an online shopping cart, and all of that is just taken care of for you. And then you can have your own separate website if you want to, which I do. So what do I mean by the levels of coaching? So like I said, it's $15.95 a month, and it's $40 to enroll. But if you purchase a challenge pack, which is what I was mentioning I use for my groups, like the 21-day fix challenge pack, the enrollment fee is waived. So joining as a coach is either $40 or it's free, and you want to get started probably with one of the programs to check it out and learn about it if you're interested in coaching. So that's a lot that you're getting, I think, for that small investment. That is how I see it anyway. And the levels of coaching, there are a lot of people who are in it just for the discount. The vast majority, actually. So if you hear the number out there that there are 300,000 coaches, that doesn't mean that in the US and Canada there are 300,000 people actively working as coaches. It's actually a pretty small proportion of that, of people who are actually running programs, coaching programs with Beachbody's offerings. So don't feel like, oh my gosh, there are so many coaches. The vast majority of them just want the discount, mostly on Shakeology. And that's totally fine. That's not like breaking the rules in any way. But if you are working on it actively, there are additional benefits that you get from the company, like customers referred to you and additional compensation as you start to have more customers and become a team leader. So the second level, first level is a discount coach. Second level is what I call, you could say dabbling, just someone who maybe they sell to a few friends and family, but they're not really interested in running their own groups. Or, maybe they're like, if it's someone on my team likes to make referrals, she'll get the commission, but the person would be in my group. And other than that, she's a discount coach. So it's pretty cool to get like a $40 commission here and there. And I totally don't mind that either. Just because the more the merrier in my groups. The people who are on my team are all like-minded people who they're just on the same page with me, and they're not going to be like posting anything weird in the group or inviting people in who are going to be like mean and rude to other people. So as far as I see it, the more the merrier. But then the third and highest level is developing and leading a team and, actively running programs. So, there's the running the programs piece of it, and then there's the leading a team piece of it. But pretty soon when you start running programs, people see how awesome the products are. They want to get the discount, and so they become discount coaches, and pretty soon you've got this team of people. So this is where, it gets a little blurry. Like, even if you're not sure right now that you would want to be a team leader and you just want to work with clients, I would still put that in the upper level. The people who want to do this full time and have it be their full-time gig, or at least a significant income generator for them.
Welcome to any meeting. The meeting is in listen-only mode, and only meeting presenters can be heard. Welcome to any meeting. Your line is now unmuted.
Sorry again, disconnected again, but just going to wrap up here. So we have come to the time for questions. I've gone over all the basic info. Any questions out there? So I'll give you a few minutes to think about questions. I just want to, in closing, talk about the culture of Beachbody, which, I alluded to. There were some things about Beachbody as I was a discount coach that made me really want to get more involved. And the main thing is the company culture, just a positive, uplifting spirit. I mean, like I said, there are a lot of coaches. They're, mostly not working it, but a lot of us are, and you might expect it to get competitive, but it's not competitive at all. People are so supportive and just genuinely happy for one another when somebody has success, and there's no pride of ownership. Really, the very top coaches in the company do trainings, for other teams and put up videos on YouTube for any of us to see. So, yeah, and they share their secrets because pretty much the way everybody sees it, the more people we reach, the better. The company's mission is to end the trend of obesity. And the CEO, Carl Deichler, as far as I'm concerned, I am 100% convinced that his heart is in the right place, and that's really his motive, not money. And so it's pretty easy to get on board with that. When I was in the hospital, I even more so, I have some good friends, but people that I didn't even know very well from the Beachbody community were really just reaching out to me and being so supportive and helpful, and encouraging. Things were really tough for a while, and a lot of people didn't know what to say, but my fellow coaches, they didn't let that stop them. Just even if they would reach out to say, I really don't know what to say, but I'm thinking of you. And that's really what matters. And that was what really touched me. And I think that's the whole reason that I came back to it after being so sick and getting better, because I wasn't sure for a while if I was even going to be able to do it. And then all of a sudden, once I was feeling well enough, it was like, I have to get back to this because I missed the presence of that group of people in my life. It's a group that are just constantly wanting to better themselves, figure out, how can I be a better coach, better serve my clients? How can I be a better mentor to coaches on my team? How can I be a better friend, wife, mother, daughter, all of these roles in life, just continuously trying to improve and be the best we can be. And I love that. There are a lot of people out there who have just become complacent and kind of indifferent to life. And that is not how I want to feel about my life. I want to feel excited about what the day is going to bring and, have dreams and goals. And really, that's what Beachbody represents in my life. It's not just a business. It really is a way of life for me. So there's no question for me that this is something I want to run with. So unless there are any questions, I'm going to close it out. And I mentioned when I posted about this, I do have a sneak peek into coaching. I call it my fitness business boot camp, but it's kind of a week in the life. It's a chance to ask more questions. And it also is a way to actually try out some of the activities of coaching for a week. And I'll explain more about that in the group. And all the activities are optional, nothing's required, but one of the activities is kind of starting to think about who might your target market be that would benefit from what you have to offer. What kinds of programs would you want to offer? And a little bit of social media training, just tiny bit, to start to think about what the business is really all about, and kind of on a daily basis, what are the tasks of coaching, as opposed to big picture. So tonight was more the big picture. And anyone who's been on this call is welcome in that group. We start on Sunday and it continues for 6 days, and it's free. And it will take place in a private group on Facebook. Just looking over my notes, I think we've covered everything. I just want to emphasize that, there are other coaches out there. Obviously, if you were to join my team, you'd be working with me. But not only that, you would have my help at every step of the way. And if you're a person who works independently and just wants to check in now and then, that's cool. And if you want, like a daily status report to me or send me things to look over and I'll comment on that if that's your style. I'm willing to be a mentor in whatever style works best for you, but I will be 100% available to you for whatever you need. So it's not. It is like we're independent contractors. We're entrepreneurs, but it's not all on your own, and that's another beautiful thing, I think, as opposed to starting your own business, like completely independently. So that is the end of my presentation. Sorry, I think I went a little over because of the technical difficulties, but thank you for bearing with me. And thanks for taking the time out of your evening. Thanks for your interest. I will be following up with everyone who registered for the call by email or Facebook message. And I'll talk to you again soon. Have a great night.